I'm Manouk Akopyan. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you to our partners, personal injury attorney Nelson Gavorkian. Hi, everyone. I am joined by Hall of Fame fighter turned promoter turned trainer turned commentator, Roy Jones Jr. Roy, you do it all, and you're about to do it all on December 12th at the Legends Casino Hotel when you're going to have 5 of your fighters in the ring while also commentating that night. It's going to be a pretty incredible feat. How did you come up with the idea, and how have you been preparing to go about it?
Well, for me, it was always a dream of mine. What people don't understand about me because I'm a little different. You know, I'm built different. I'm the only athlete outside of a baseball, basketball, and football player to do 2 sports in one day: boxing, USBL basketball game. Right. So to top that off, I always wanted to fight, commentate, and coach the same night. Very difficult to do that at that time because people wasn't looking outside the box. Now looking outside the box has done. You got all these different things: Jake Paul, Mike Tyson, the Misfits. You got so many different things going on outside of the box now, right? So now, since people are starting to understand the thoughts of thinking outside the box, or the idea of thinking outside the box, I'm thinking, why can't I corner 5 guys, commentate between cornering, and make it happen? You understand me? And it's tough, but truthfully speaking, all the work is done right here. When we get there, my job is really over with. Now, I'm a team player, so yes, I do have to help them with the game plan and try to remind them to stick to the game plan. But my hard work should be over with. It's on them now.
Absolutely. And you're at your gym, your farm in Pensacola, Florida. Again, the show December 12th, going to be on BLK Prime and Toppenish, Washington, Legends Casino Hotel. You know, Roy, you have a lot of many other talents as well, too. Did you think about a concert, maybe a 3-point shootout in between all of this, too?
I always think about a concert between it, but I don't know if they're ready for that yet. But I do often think of a concert. I think I might do that next. I think I might get my guy some Bullet to ride out with me next time. And we might do a concert at the intermission. How hot would that be? I might see, can I get the Legends Casino to pay me to do a concert at the intermission? That'll be really hot. Now we be doing something.
I like it. I like it.
Yes.
Everyone loves your anthems. It always still gives me goosebumps when I see the fighters come to the ring with your songs on their ring walk. And I'm pretty sure it would be a special night if you're also singing your fighters to the ring too. So we gotta bookmark that for your 2025.
Either sing them to the ring, or just do a concert at the intermission. Might be better.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the main event. Shady Gamor, who's from Sweden, now training with you. He's going to be in a 10-round super middleweight fight against Devontae McDonald. What are you looking from Shady? What do you want him to do in this fight?
Honestly, this fight will tell me if he's hungry enough to keep going or if he needs to stop, because Devontae is coming to fight. Everybody knows that. Devontae gave Andrew Murphy one of the best fights that Andrew Murphy has had to date in his career. And Devontae is a real fighter who comes to fight. So I want to see if Shady really wants it or if he don't. So if he wants it, he'll figure out a way to beat Devontae. If he doesn't, Devontae will show me.
And of course, this is going to be December 12th, which is going to be the last show of the year for you. Can you give us a preview of what 2025 looks like for you? Do you have any dates already bookmarked? Some goals you're trying to achieve?
No, we don't have the dates bookmarked yet, but we should do at least 3, maybe 4. My goal is to try to make a few more world champions, whether it be WBAF, NBA, IBO, IBF, IB, whatever. I don't care. I just like to make world champions out of my guys, because for me, when you get a belt around your waist, that belt comes with a bit of responsibility, because no matter what belt it is, everybody wants it. I mean, except the people that are at the top with the other belts. But everybody else that don't have it or haven't made it yet, they don't feel successful unless they have a belt. There's a lot of guys that retire only with USBA or NABF belts, but those belts were belts. So it meant that I did accomplish something. A belt is an accomplishment. It's what people don't realize about boxing. So when you get a belt, it makes you feel a sense of accomplishment. And with that accomplishment comes responsibility.
Absolutely. And obviously, the belt is also the first domino that needs to fall in order for them to follow, perhaps, in your footsteps as a pound for pound great, a Hall of Famer. You know, we're just a few hours removed from the Hall of Fame class being announced. You were the fighter of the 1990s, and we have arguably the fighter of the 2010s, Manny Pacquiao, leading the case, leading the inductee class this year. I'm very curious, Roy, as your opinion, who were the torchbearers after you when you were the fighter of the 90s? Who do you consider the fighter of the 2000s, the 2010s, and who do you think is the front runner for the 2020s?
The 2000 should have been Floyd Mayweather. The 2010 probably should have been Manny Pacquiao, and 2020 probably should be Terrence Crawford.
Gotcha. Canelo anywhere in that mix? Do you want to?
He could be. He could go in. He could go in either one of those areas. He could go in those areas. Um, Javante Davis can go in the later era. It's a lot of guys. Andre Ward can go either one of those eras. Andre Ward is actually probably the guy that probably should go in one of those areas because he dominated the light heavyweight division. I mean, superweight and light heavyweight division. While he was there, he never lost. So he's just as deserving as Floyd is.
How would you assess Manny Pacquiao's career going up against Mayweather head to head? That we all know they finally fought. You were so close to Pacquiao, calling a lot of his fights. What do you just make of Pacquiao's career overall?
Pacquiao had an extraordinary career because he started so light and ended up so high. And the fact that they waited 5 years to make that fight really hurt Pacquiao in my opinion. And I mean, I think that if he'd have fought him when he was at his peak, it probably would have been a little different. But Mayweather is an awesome fighter, so it would have been tough for him still. And it's just you just got to know that Pacquiao still he fought some of the best fights, some of the best rivalries. I mean, he had rivalries with three different Mexican fighters. That's saying a lot. Three of the best smaller Mexican guys ever, and he had rivalries with three of them. Rivalries with three of them. That's saying a lot. So.
Absolutely. Certainly an epic, iconic career, 8 division champion. And you alluded to maybe Tank Davis being the fighter of the 2020s, but it doesn't seem like he's going to be fighting much longer. Earlier this week, he announced that he's retiring soon. As someone yourself who's retired on and off throughout his career, well, what do you make of Tank's decision? And if you had something to tell him, what would the advice be?
Tank got to do what makes Tank happy. I mean, nowadays, if you retire and wait, sometimes let the money simmer, it gets even better. So just don't get out of shape when you retire because when you retire, that gives them more incentive to try to make you come back. So if you do retire now, stay in shape because they're going to be looking for an opportunity to sneak up on you when you're not ready for it. They'll pay you a lot of money so they can sneak up on you. So stay ready even in retirement.
Absolutely, and we saw that with Andre Ward too. Yourself as well. And Mike Tyson. The offers never stop coming, no matter the age.
Exactly.
And you were there ringside. The entire world, over 160 million people, heard your commentary on the Mike Tyson fight. What was your thoughts on the aftermath? Obviously, a great payday for Mike and Jake, a great event overall, but the fight just didn't deliver to the expectations, perhaps unwarranted expectations that people had. What was your thoughts on the fight?
The fight didn't really live up to the hype, but you do have a 58-year-old man with a 27-year-old man. So, I mean, we expected more because Mike was a former great and still is a great. And Jake's just a guy learning the game. So we expect a little more fireworks from Mike and Jake, really. But, for them to put an event together, to be honest with you, you got your money's worth in the two fights before that with the burial fight and the two girls. That was another epic battle. And to me, you didn't get cheated out of nothing because those two fights before that main event gave you your money's worth. So
absolutely. Hey, maybe it's time for you to fight Jake Paul. I'm sure you've entertained the idea. Have any conversations taken place? Because I know you're very much
No, I
always
haven't had any
looking.
conversations. Yeah, no, I haven't had any conversations with him. I'm not really a full-fledged heavyweight, but I weigh probably what he weighs right now, so it wouldn't be hard to match his weight, I guess. And but they do catch weights anyway, so I'm sure we figure out the right weight class. We can make it happen. Only thing different though is that he probably have to take me out because I'm coming. So either I'm gonna get him or he's gonna get me.
Do you, as a lifetime boxing head aficionado, do you think Jake Paul is the real deal? Do you see serious flaws, or do you think even at your age and stage of your career, you could pick him apart, Mister, with being Captain Left Hook?
It's gonna be very difficult to pick him apart because he's so powerful. And he's big. He's physically bigger than me, so it'll be hard to pick him apart because he does have power, and he's a dangerous puncher. You gotta know that. So I would beat him, I'm sure, but you'd have to be on your A game all night, especially at my age.
Right. Let's move over really quickly to the real fights that are happening as far as the calendar goes. Usyk-Fury happening December 21st. We all saw what happened in the first fight. A great performance from Alexander Usyk. How do you see the rematch unfolding?
No, rematch is a very difficult thing to call because Tyson Fury usually does really well in rematches. Although at the end of that fight, he did not have the momentum leaving the fight. So going into the next fight, Usyk comes in with the momentum, and momentum is a hard thing to shift. So he'll have to figure out a way to shift that momentum. I don't know that he has the power to do that, but if he was a power puncher, he could shift the momentum pretty easily if he just lands a big shot. He's not no power puncher like that though. So I think, in my humble opinion, it's going to be very difficult for Fury to shift that momentum back to his field. If he can, he'll have something. But if he can't, then Usyk could just continue the dominance that he had at the end of the first fight.
You had rematches with two Hall of Famers, one who's on the ballot to be a Hall of Famer, and those are Antonio Tarver, Bernard Hopkins, and as well as Montel Griffin. Now, what goes in?
James Turner also.
Oh, yes, yes. Excuse me. Going
Yeah,
off the top of my head here.
yes.
What goes into the preparation for a rematch?
A lot. You gotta go, you gotta train yourself to forget about the first time or remember what you did wrong the first time to fix it the second time. And that's the biggest thing, trying to correct your mistakes from fight one to fight two.
And what are those mistakes that Fury must correct in order to beat Usyk?
Well, Fury didn't allow Fury allowed Usyk to come in and fight like he was the bigger man. You can't do that when you fight a smaller man. You must come in and make him understand that he's in unfamiliar territory, make him feel like he's in a place that he's not supposed to be at. You saw when I fought Felix Trinidad, I didn't give Felix Trinidad no inclination that he was going to push me back or bully me. Why? Because he's coming up from 147 to 170, which is really light heavyweight. A welterweight has no business chasing a light heavyweight around the ring. If he does, that light heavyweight ain't trying to win. Not mentally, because where they do that at? You don't let nobody come up in your weight class and chase you around. That's like letting somebody come on your block or come in your yard or come in your house and run you off. Are you crazy?
Absolutely. And your final prediction: who do you think is going to win the rematch?
Like I said, it's hard for me to say that. I like both fighters. I think both fighters are absolutely awesome fighters. Tyson really does good in rematches, so Tyson Fury is gonna probably be maybe the favorite even in the rematch because of how his history with rematches. But like I said, I think Alexander Usyk left there with the momentum, and I don't see Tyson being able to shift that momentum again. So I would probably go with Usyk.
Right. And let's go to another rematch that was announced February 22, a division that you were an undisputed light heavyweight champion in. Artur Beterbiev versus Dmitry Bivol, a very close fight in the first one. Your thoughts on how the first fight unfolded and how you see the rematch as well?
The way the first fight unfolded was Bivol got out in front and he thought he had done enough to win the fight. So he kind of backed off and took it a little bit easier the second half because he thought he had won enough for the first half to win the fight. However, Arthur didn't really do good the first half, but he stuck to his boxing plan, and he did very good once Bivol started to slow in the later part of the second half. So once again, momentum is a lot. And for me, Beterbiev left there with the momentum, but I was shocked that he didn't take more shots at Bivol, didn't take more Arthur Beterbiev type shots at Bivol trying to KO him. So with that being said, it's sometimes reasons. Now Arthur has been down 3 or 4 times, I'm sure, in his career within the 20 fights. And I'm sure he didn't want to leave himself exposed to be caught by a good shot from Bivol because maybe Bivol would have put him down too. But like I told him the other day, if you fighting Arthur and you are Arthur Beterbiev, we expect to see you knock people out. Just like we don't expect to see Mike Tyson beat people by decision. We want to see Mike Tyson KO people. Since you got 20 wins, 20 KOs, we don't want to see you outbox Bivol. We want to see you take Bivol out or almost take him out at least. Now, if you outbox him and almost take him out, we'll take that too because that means you did what you had to do to win, but you also gave us some of you. This fight, I don't even remember him really hurting Bivol. And that's not like Arthur. So
You were with Arthur a few days ago overseas. You got obviously extensive conversations. What did you make of just his demeanor, and kind of how you see his approach for the rematch as well?
he has an exceptional demeanor. He's the kind of guy that he'll never tell you he's good at boxing because he's constantly trying to get better. And if you know him, you gotta love that about a person. This man, 38 years old, and still not telling you that he's actually not good at boxing because he's still trying that hard to get better. That says a lot. That really gave me an even better feeling about him than I had before I met him. Because to see a guy 38 still with that hunger says a lot.
And your final prediction? Do you think it goes Beterbiev's way again, or is it Bivol's turn to turn the tide?
Depends on who wants it better. They both fought good that fight, but Arthur fought at the end better than some people thought he fought in the end better than Bivol fought in the beginning. I thought Bivol got ahead and was just trying to hold his lead. I thought he should have been a draw, or maybe he would have got it, but they gave it to Arthur because they liked the second half better than the first half. And a lot of people do like the second half winner better than they like the first half winner because the second half winner's got to won the harder part of the fight. That's when we already both are fatigued. So it's a tough fight to call again. I would probably say maybe Bivol even the score up this time so they can have number 3.
Hey, well, I think the entire boxing world would love a trilogy, and I guess
Yes.
if we're talking about future fights, Roy, since it's the season, we're a few days uh, 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 till Christmas. If you had 3 fights that you could have under the Christmas tree next year, and it's guaranteed to happen, what would they be?
Bukale and Zhang for sure. Tank Davis versus the left hand Shakur Stevens, and I still want to see Fury versus Joshua or Joshua versus Wilder.
Those are some great those are some great fights, and the fact that you went with Zhang and Bacoli right off the top of your head, is there a certain reason you feel strong about that one?
Yeah, because both of these guys are guys that not many people ever gave a chance to or ever tried to give a chance to. But both of these guys are guys who deserve a shot in the heavyweight division because they're big guys and they both can fight. So to have 2 big guys that can fight, share the ring together is an awesome thing for the heavyweight division. Why would we not do that? When I saw him fight Jared Anderson and I saw Jane lose with Joseph Parker, I immediately said, you know what? The best fight for those two are each other because Zhang's up in age, but they're both huge guys. They're both great punchers, and they both have a good boxing IQ. Why not make the fight happen?
Absolutely,
And they both would be opponents for Tyson Fury because they're both
absolutely,
big enough.
and it wouldn't be right not to mention the pound for pound kings as well too, with you being a pound for pound king yourself. So let's just run through it. Canelo, who would you like to see him fight next year if he's only fighting once?
Oh, you only want to see him fight the one guy that he hasn't fought yet. That's the monster. You
David
don't want to see him fight
Benavidez.
nobody else. That's it. Don't want to see him fight nobody else.
And then Naoya Inoue. It sounds like 126 pounds and a U.S. fight is in his future next year. What would a perfect Naoya Inoue fight look like, you think?
You know what? Uh, to be honest with you, I like to see Loma come back down to 27 or 30, and they meet and see what Loma can do with it. Because that'll be a good fight. Because
Wow, I like
Loma
that.
is such a tick. Yeah, and I like to see how Loma does it. Because Loma fighting guys that are way bigger than him now. You come down and fight anyway, you fight somebody that's closer to your size. That's a really good fight.
I like that. Not a lot of people talk about that. They want Inoue to fight
Mm.
Tank, but I think Inoue
Tank's too big.
Lomachenko, yeah.
Tank's a little bigger. If he beats Loma, then yeah, let me see him fight Tank next. But I don't know if Tank gonna come that low.
And then we talked about Canelo. How about Terrence Crawford? It sounds like he has an injury that's going to keep him sidelined until May. But with the 154-pound division being so open and Canelo not having much interest to fight him, where do you think is the perfect fight for Terrence Crawford?
He could fight Tim Tszyu. He could fight a Charlo brother. He could fight the Towering Inferno, or he can fight Jerron Ennis. Any of those fights are good for him.
Absolutely. And I think if even a few of those fights are made in 2025, I think that'll be a great year. We're already seeing the influx of these super cards with the investment of the Saudi Arabian officials, Turki Al Sheikh, and the rest of the team. What do you make of their entire involvement in the sport? And do you think it'll be sustainable moving forward?
I think it'll be sustainable moving forward. I like their involvement because it gives these guys an opportunity to take the fight that people want to see in boxing, and they're getting paid for it properly. So why would you not take the fight? So I do like it. Just gotta be ready for it. You know, it's like you gotta make sure you're ready for it because you don't want to jump in too early because of the money and get beat. So you want to make sure you're ready for it when you step in there. But I like it.
And I'm sure the fans will like your involvement December 12th at the Legends Casino Hotel. It's going to be an amazing night of five fighters that you'll be cornering and commentating at the same time. And we're looking forward to it. It's going to be on BLK Prime pay-per-view. And I'm not going to take credit for the idea, but we do want to see the concert folded into this next time as well, too, Roy.
We're gonna see what we do. I'm gonna talk to BLK Prime, talk to Legends Casino, see if they can get together and make enough there so I can go ahead and do a concert in too. At the intermission, that's gonna be hot. That's my next goal.